is slamming new sanctions against Belarus for its involvement in the invasion of Ukraine, and many other nations taking steps to make Russian oligarchs, these are the very wealthy Russians, very often close to Vladimir Putin, feel the pain of this invasion directly. In France, authorities have seized a yacht owned by Igor Sechin. He is the CEO of the Russian oil company Rosneft. In Germany, officials have seized a $600 million yacht belonging to a billionaire linked to Vladimir Putin. All of this as Secretary of State Antony Blinken is headed to Brussels this hour to meet with EU officials and NATO allies. CNN's Natasha Bertrand is live in Brussels at the EU headquarters there. What are they discussing? Is it more economic sanctions? Are they discussing further military support to Ukraine? Do we expect announcements from these meetings?
Well, it's a little of both, Jim. It's economic penalties, and of course, it's more lethal assistance to Ukraine as they try to fend off this Russian onslaught here. But the EU is taking pretty significant steps, especially in recent days, to try to hold these oligarchs accountable and hold them, look after the fact that they've been sanctioned, kind of enforce that. And what they've done is they've actually seized 2 Russian yachts that are owned by major oligarchs. That includes the Amore Vero, which is owned by Igor Sechin, who's the CEO of Rosneft. He's a very, very close Putin ally. It's worth about $120 million, and that was seized by France. And then also seized by Germany is a yacht owned by Alisher Usmanov, who's a Putin-linked billionaire as well, worth about $600 million. So the EU has really stepped up here to try to seize these assets by these oligarchs. Something that President Biden, of course, said in recent days would be a priority for the United States as well. The Justice Department actually just announced an initiative called Klepto Capture, in which they would try to hunt down these assets owned by these Russian oligarchs to try to essentially pressure them into putting pressure in turn on the Kremlin to reassess their decisions here and to reassess their strategies when it comes to the war in Ukraine. But what we expect to see from Antony Blinken was when he's here in Brussels is more coordination with EU foreign ministers, with NATO allies, in terms of how do we get this equipment into Ukraine, given the contested airspace? How is that going to be coordinated? There are so many member states now within the EU that want to send help, that want to send humanitarian assistance, and more lethal equipment, including anti-tank missiles and Stinger missiles that are anti-air defense systems. And the question now is, how is that all going to get into the country, given how difficult it is right now in terms of the war that we're seeing on the ground?
Well, remarkable, the U.S. says that they have been able to get hundreds of Stinger missiles in just in the last several days to the Ukrainian military. Natasha Bertrand there at EU headquarters in Brussels, thanks very much.